Storm Collectibles' Mortal Kombat line is one of my favorite action figure lines running at the moment. They are the first company that is a higher end collectible company that has been able to get me to buy into. Before this, I don't have any Sideshow, I don't have any Hot Toys, but the Mortal Kombat license was something they were able to use to hook me. And for a long time, a Reptile figure was very unobtainable because Reptile from MK1, as seen here, is one of the first figures that they made in the Storm Collectibles line, and he originally retailed at $50. At the time I got into the line, and for a year, year and a half, 2 years after that, he never sold for under $300. Reptile's price is absolutely insane. So that was one of the figures, one of the characters even, I wrote off as, I'm not gonna own that. That's crazy price for that character. So you would imagine I was delighted when Storm Collectibles announced they were going to start doing MK3 ninjas. And that gave us this wonderful fellow right here. We've got MK3 Reptile coming at you. Alright, hello everybody, my name is Deceptibot9. Welcome to my channel and thank you all for joining me here today. Before we get too far into the figure, go ahead, leave a like if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe as well so you can see more from me. Go ahead and follow me over on TikTok where I make shorter form content about figures, comics, games, and follow me on Instagram where I post pictures about new products I get, things I get, all the ones that I just like overall. Alright, with all that said and out of the way, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Reptile. Okay, and here is a closer look up at Reptile, as you will get him in the package. So I reverted back to the fisted hands, and I, of course, reverted back to the masked face. And I gotta say, this figure is so awesome. And it might just be the fact that this is the first Reptile that I have, and that having a Storm Collectibles Reptile feels special, even though it is an MK3 version and not the MK1. I just love getting to have a Reptile now, because Reptile is one of my favorite ninjas from the Mortal Kombat franchise, and it really sucked not getting to have that first one to go along with all the others that I have. But I'm very excited to have the MK3 version now as well. Particularly also, I think I like the MK3 ninja design overall more than I like the MK1 ninja design, so that could influence things as well. But as for Reptile himself here, you can see he looks really, really nice. That green is coming out, looks like a little lighter on camera. It is slightly darker in person, but not by much. And you can see that the sculpt work and the detail on him is standard for Storm Collectibles, just magnificent as always. Get a closer look at this face here. It's so nice. Oh, his mask trying to come off. I love the shape of the mask as well. It looks really, really nice. It's got these sort of divots in the cheek, so there's a little bit of it protruding here on the mouth, and I really, really like that. And you can see he's got his nice green reptile eyes peeking in under there. You can, of course, remove this mask. There is nothing underneath it. It's just kind of a empty black void. But you can slide that on. Mine is prone to falling off a little easy. If you kind of bump it, it just doesn't shake off, so that's good. But if you touch it, it might fall just a little bit. You can see even here, so some of the sculpt detail work here on the cloth for his robes is nice, down to his muscles in here, and a little bit of bending in the fabric. And you get some veins going on here, and the muscle definition in the arms is really nice, down to the sculpt detail work here on the gauntlets, the belt. The legs have tremendous looking muscles as well, down to the leg gauntlets, and of course the nice little toes and shoes, and all the fabric wrinkles in the legs too. I mean, as always with Storm Collectibles, he is a really nice looking figure. No complaints there. Now, really quick, before we get a little too crazy, let's go ahead and cover the articulation. Now, as per usual with Storm, it is absolutely phenomenal. One of my favorite things about Storm is just their articulation game. It is fantastic. The first Storm figure I ever got, the MK1 Smoke, it just blew me away with how great they are. So, up in the head, right here, you've got a ball joint that lets it swivel all the way around, and that is on a double ball joint. So you can really get some good bend going there with the head downward and upward. The joint, not as much upward, but you can get it, and it can go kind of a little side to side action. I love that joint. Everything is nice and tight as well. Arms go all the way around. They are slightly restricted by this thing, but you move it out of the way, it's all good. They go out that far. They are on a butterfly joint as well, so they can go forward and backward with that. Swivel at the bicep. Of course, we get the double elbow here. Oh, see, there goes his mask. Decent bend. It's about a little more than 90, so not too terrible there. The wrist, you get the swivel and the hinge as well, so you can get that hinge going in whatever direction you want it to. You get the ab crunch going on there with the ab cut, so you can get a little bit of a turning. The waist, you can rotate as well. You rotate the waist. Legs go forward that far. They go backwards that far, which is something that is unusual to see on figures that I have reviewed recently in the past. The legs, they can also split about that far, so you can get him in almost a full splits, but it's okay because he is not Johnny Cage. There is a slight swivel there as well. The knees have that double bend that gets them going so far. The feet have kind of the same deal as the wrists. You know, they can pivot as well. They can go up and down, all that fun stuff. And there is a toe bend. When I first got this guy, I threw up some pictures of him in some various poses on my Instagram, but I will throw them up here right now. Now as well, you can see that, I mean, he's getting some great poses out of this guy, as you will with any Storm figure. He looks great. So those pictures spoiled some of the accessories. So without further ado, let's get into it. Obviously, you are getting this basic head and a set of fisted hands, but besides that, you get a set of these fully open hands. You get a set of clenchy, grabby hands. You get a set of open knife hands. And you get the traditional MK3 Ninja opened up pointy hands. Those ones are fun. So 5 total sets of hands. Absolutely amazing in terms of the hands. Now my favorite one, as you saw in the intro, yes, you get the alternate reptile head for when he takes off his mask and reveals that there is a actual reptile under there. And the sculpt work and the paint work on this head is absolutely amazing. Yeah, well, you can see the teeth kind of messy. They're not all white as they should be, but those are tiny teeth. And from a distance, it could look like it's blood or just, you know, rotted teeth. So I don't mind too much. But the green is great. The red eyes up here are great as well. This hood came packaged off as an alternate accessory. So you could, there you go. You can take it off if you would like. And you can see that, anyway, there's a little bit of a paint smudge on the back of mine, I guess. But you can still see that the sculpt work and the detail work on it is pretty fantastic. But I don't like the look of it as much being bald, so I do like to keep the wrap on. I guess that's what that is, the wrap of the head. Besides all that detail work, the jaw does open up, and you see that there is a little bit of a square hole in there. That's because he has accessories that are also meant to go with this head. Particularly first is a tiny little tongue. Alright, I figured what good was it showing you that reptile head and all its fun accessories. Not on the body. So here he is in his reptiled out mode. This is how I like to have him. I like having this alternate reptile head. I think it looks just so nice on this body. So anyway, yes, there is this little tongue, this basic tongue that you can see just rests in his mouth like that. But he also has a long tongue to be performing, you know, his traditional classic eating the head fatality with. This one is really cool and a lot of fun. But my favorite, and the way I like to display him, is the acid spit. That it just looks so cool. I love the way that the acid spit looks, especially coming out of this reptile mouth. But we've got one last accessory to show off, because what would Reptile be without his acid ball? If my camera will focus on the acid ball. There it goes. The acid ball. This is a great accessory. It is so much bigger than I thought it was going to be, but it looks tremendous. You can see how it looks here with Reptile as if he is projecting it. It's marvelous. It's huge. It's a nice, weird, translucent green with this translucent white in the middle. It does come with this stand as well. It's the same type of stand you'll get with Goro's Fireball and Motaro's Fireball as well. So nothing new with the stand, but yeah, this piece is just tremendous. You can also see it's pretty thin, but it is a sturdy plastic. Doesn't feel... I mean, it moves a little bit here. It's a little wiggly, but it doesn't feel like it's going to snap at all. It is fairly sturdy. All right, with all the accessories and articulation and everything out of the way, how does Reptile look in comparison to some other figures? So let's show them off. Here is Reptile next to the MK3 Unmasked Sub-Zero, the Kuai Liang version of Sub-Zero, because... I made the grave mistake of not buying the Bihan version when he was available, and now I have to pay aftermarket prices for him. Here's Reptile next to his mold mate MK3 Scorpion. Here's Reptile next to an MK1 Storm Collectibles body, this one obviously being Ermac instead of Reptile, but that's what MK1 Reptile would be. And just for fun, here is Reptile next to my most recent Mortal Kombat review before this, the McFarlane Toys Kotal Khan. And with all that said and done, let's throw it back up to me for some final thoughts. Alright, so overall, what do I think about Storm Collectibles MK3 Reptile? Well, I think he is fantastic. If you're doing the Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat line, you're going to want to get Reptile if you're doing all the other MK3 ninjas. I think he's also a great stand-in. If you don't have the MK1 Reptile, I am perfectly happy with just having the MK3 version and not getting the MK1 version at this point. I think this guy is awesome. And for 2022, this guy being the first of what we're seeing this year, and with Kintaro on the way hopefully in June, it's safe to say 2022 is shaping up to be probably one of Storm's best years in terms of great Mortal Kombat figures. So that's all I've got for the MK3 Reptile today. You guys go ahead, if you have him, let me know what you think about him down below. Is he one of your favorites? Because I think he personally is one of mine. So thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. As always, I really, really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later.